Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Developing now, the Justice Department and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau are suing a Texas-based developer and lender known as Colony Ridge. We have reported on this here on The Factor as far as 5-6 years ago and recently earlier this year. This is an unincorporated area in Liberty County. The lawsuit accuses the company of specifically targeting tens of thousands of Hispanic borrowers with false statements and predatory loans, as well as selling flood-prone land to buyers without the essential infrastructure. CEO John Harris has since released this statement. It reads, "The lawsuit is baseless and both outrageous and inflammatory. Our business thrives on customer referrals because landowners are happy and able to experience the American dream of owning property." Joining us to talk about it is realtor Daniela Sombera. Glad to have you here on The Factor Uncensored. As I said, we went there before, met some of the residents, and what we saw were many of the people, and we talk about predatory lending, but there was also individuals who were there renting to own. And it looks like, according to them, their payments would go on and on and on and on. There was no end of the road for them. But the owner says differently. When you take a look at this property, Colony Ridge, Liberty County, butting on Montgomery County, your thoughts about it and what the federal government is saying?
Well, first of all, I think it's very sad that, that if allegedly this is true, that they're, preying on people who are not really understanding the whole process of when they're buying these lots and lands. And so, therefore, I think it's important that we do dig into this and make sure that they are aware of their rights as people who have now, we're seeing that they that they didn't weren't informed correctly of what the process was, and like you said, some of them have these payments and they don't have no clue on what it looks like, when does it end, their terms, rates, and it's awful. And definitely I think it's a great thing that the Department of Justice is pursuing this.
Now, when we talk about those who may come into the country, whether they're new Americanized, or citizens who have become American citizens, or they're not, are there ways for them to find a way to buy a home rather than just renting to own?
Yeah, well, actually, that's a great question. So I think what's really important is that, first of all, I think a lot of the Hispanic community is underserved because they don't know that, obviously the real estate agent can advocate for them, empower them, and make them feel confident with all their financial and investment decisions. And so I think that could really help solve that problem if they had someone guiding them. But with these lands, I'm actually familiar with this area, and I have seen it. Like just right now, if you look at it, there's so many pieces of land for sale. If you look at a lot of the agent remarks, some of them are for pre-foreclosure. So we are seeing them that that there's no end in sight. That they buy these, the rates are really high. They end up taking them back. They re-put them on the market again for the next buyer to buy them.
In some cases, it could be a vicious cycle. And I'll be totally honest, we also met some people there. When we went there, they were totally happy. They were totally satisfied because they had their own piece of the American pie. Yeah. But you're saying the American pie can be much better.
Absolutely. It could be much better. And I think that, it's really unfortunate that these people are not aware of their rights, and they have, bought these lands, pieces of lots, and like we read on the article that, that they bought them with great marketing tactics, but once they got down to the documents, they weren't translated into Spanish where they could understand exactly what they were agreeing to in the terms.
All right. And once again, we want to give you his statement. It says the lawsuit, the owner of Colony Ridge, John Harris, he says the lawsuit is baseless and both outrageous and inflammatory. Our business thrives on customer referrals because landowners are happy and able to experience the American dream of owning. Daniela, thank you for joining us here on The Factor.